And he had no idea that I really enjoyed it. You know, I sat and I was like, I wish we could go on for a long time. In between some of the conversations we've had, I've learned quite a lot. This person has invested in a couple of startups that have done really well across the world. You know, he's flew in from South Africa. Yes. You know, and his name is Joan Richards. Joan Richards. And I'm just going to do a brief. Yeah, it's a good time to clap. It's a good time to clap. So Joan is a business advisor. He's an angel investor. Yes. So you see the caliber of people speaking to you today are the ones who hold the money. He's also a VC partner as well. He's a startup founder. He's a board director. He sits on the board of the Global Entrepreneurship Festival as well. It's a good time to clap. Joan is also a mediator. He's a mentor. Yeah, he's my mentor now, by default. He's a global speaker, you know, and he's the CEO of J. Richards and Associates. And he's been on this tough of running businesses for over 35 years. Yeah, that's a lot of experience he's bringing. You know, and one of the things I'd just like to share is one of.
That's it. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? There you go. I'm not good behind lecterns, so I'm going to be all around. Good luck to the guys that's going to try and capture me. The other technical thing as entrepreneurs, we face challenges. We overcome those challenges, so we're not going to be set back by anything that challenges us. I want to see if my clicker works all the way to the back. So this is, guys, at the back. Can we get some presentation there? So first of all, while I'm waiting for that to start up, thank you very much for the warm welcome. I'm listening every time that they introduce me. I do some speeches here and there at some of these conferences, and then I wonder who's the guy that they're talking about. Okay, so we all start at the same place. And sometimes the power that's in you, the ability that's in you, you don't see it yourself. You believe, I'm just somebody starting out. Now, even to this day, I'm just somebody that's starting out. Okay, and the only thing that you must remember about me after today is I'm a passionate activist for the economic development of Africa. Hey, I believe this continent has what it takes. We are going to change the world. And if you don't believe that, you need to come and speak to me afterwards so that I can enlighten you. Okay. We've all heard about the rise of the Asian tigers. Have you heard that? No. Yes, the rise of the Asian tigers. Well, the rise of the African lions is going to make the Asian tigers look like a picnic party. Sunday school picnic. And if you believe that you're in the right place, this is where you need to be. Okay. Because we have got the population growth. Okay. We have got the fastest growing economies. We have got the will, we have got the skills, we have got the people. The rest of the world is falling behind. But you must believe that. And the only thing that we're still stuck with is some of these little challenges, these niggly things that keep us back. Those are the things that we need to overcome. And one of those things is the access to finance and funding. So, can we get this presentation on the screen there, guys? So, there you go. This is where I come from, a beautiful little place called Cape Town. Okay? And you are all welcome to visit me and link me up on LinkedIn. There's a little barcode there. You can scan it. That will give you all my contact details. Okay? Last year I was attending the GEF for the first time. And I shared that little barcode. I said to somebody, that's my party trick. Okay? You scan it. And then you can find me. You put my contact number now. Okay, now I might not be able to answer all the WhatsApps that's coming through. Just bear with me. Understand that I cannot answer your calls in the middle of the night. Sometimes I'm in America, and sometimes I'm in Africa, and sometimes I'm everywhere. But I form a WhatsApp group after each GEF. And last year's GEF 24 Global Entrepreneurship Festival, and I call it the Investment Readiness Group, is still active today. Tell me by a show of hands, is there anybody that's been to last year's event? Nobody. Okay, that's a good thing. because then you haven't heard my speech before. Okay? Okay, that's the first thing. So you can contact me. You can reach out to me. You can follow me on LinkedIn. I'm not on any other active on any other social medias. Okay, I just don't have time for that. We entrepreneurs, we must be on LinkedIn so that we can share and connect. I want you to all to connect with me. Okay. And then you've got my WhatsApp number there. You can WhatsApp me. If I've got time, and I'll try and get back to as many people as possible. For this purpose, I eventually started organizing WhatsApp groups so that we can help each other. So you've heard, first of all, what's my passion? My passion is everyone here. Okay, I will go to the ends of the earth to give Africans an opportunity to expand and to grow and to succeed. Every one of you. And this is why I've flown from Cape Town, that beautiful little place that was up there. Secondly, I've got some of my colleagues here. I'm with Stanford Business School on a program called the Stanford economies, but I'm more passionate about Africa than the rest you'll hear. Okay? Need to link up with organizations where you can learn. The GEF has partnered with Nextfit. That is a platform to give you access to education and training. And there's another program that I'm also involved with, the Learning Company, that is helping people to get vocational training. So learning is important. You need to understand that we need to learn. Secondly, we need to work together. I formed a fund called Synergos Venture Partners. And Synergos comes from the Greek word of working together. We as a group, this is why they said to you, to connect with each other. You're in the right room. In this room is someone that's going to connect you to someone else. You've heard about the 3 degrees of separation? Okay? You can link up with anybody. I can link up with Elon Musk. I'm a partner in a VC fund in Silicon Valley, and that partner, the other partner in the VC fund, has invested in Elon. So the same goes for you. Every one of you has got connections and contacts. And you must understand the value of those connections. Okay? That eventually you'll be able to get to anyone. Now, that's not necessarily going to do everything for you. We need to still do the work. And we need to be investment ready. So even though I can get to Elon Musk, I've never spoken to him. Okay. But let's just see if I can get my presentation back again. These are the 2 things. So this is where I'm from. I've done some crazy things. I don't know if anyone here have heard about a ski resort in Africa. See any hands? Have you ever heard about there is a ski resort in Africa? Now, I was the angel investor that invested in AfriSki. And when I started that journey, I said I want to do a ski resort. My children were little and I wanted them to ski and experience snow. Okay, who of you have skied? Is there anybody that has skied before? Yes, a couple of hands. Now, not enough hands, according to my tastes. So this is why I helped start a ski resort in Lesotho, a small little landlocked country surrounded by South Africa. And started the ski resort because now we have a Lesotho Olympic ski team. Just like the Jamaicans have a bobsleigh team. We can go to the Winter Olympics as well. And this is why anything is possible. You just need to be crazy enough to believe what you do and that you want to do it and make a difference. Now, the talk today is about investment readiness. It's about what do we need to do before we can attract funding. Okay, and that's one of the most important things we need to learn. Okay, I want to get to the presentation again. So apart from all these other things that you've seen there that I've done, that is most probably my passion project. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about understanding investment readiness. You want to get finance and funding to start your venture. Okay, you want to get money so that you can start the venture. But what does that take? What is the investor looking for? What do you need to convince him or her that you need to do so that you can attract that funding? The second thing on the agenda is We're going to assess your business. We're going to look at how they assess your business. What is a business that somebody will invest in? Then, after assessing your business, we're going to look at evaluation pitch essentials. What is essential that you have to answer in a pitch? What does that pitch deck look like? Okay, you all heard about pitch decks. You all know that you need to have a pitch deck. That's the deck you give the investor so that he can look at. I get hundreds of those. Okay, and understand that investors all get hundreds of proposals. They can't invest in everything. So what is the things you can do to make your chances of success better so that you can get a better chance at that? Now, after that, we're going to look a little bit at assessment valuation metrics. What is the things that you must show this investor, a dashboard of sorts, the things that he's going to look for that will catch his eye. And then next to that is, what was the next thing on the agenda? I can't see there. Crafting an investor-ready pitch deck. And then what is in your virtual deal room? You need to have a deal room where the investor can do a due diligence. I can't give everyone and anyone just money. They need to review and do a due diligence on your business, on you. Is it going to succeed? Because as a Christian, faith-driven entrepreneur, I've got a responsibility to make sure that I'm a steward for the money that is given to me. And most investors aren't just investing their own money. Okay, they're investing someone else's money. It's some pension fund. Okay, just like banks. Funders use the same principle where they get money from investors. They need to return that funds. So you must understand from an investor's perspective, what is it why are they doing it? It's not a grant, it's not a gift. Okay, they're doing it so that they can make more money. But that money must be returned with interest. And the better returns I'm giving my investors that has given me the money, the more money they'll give me. And the more money we'll be getting as entrepreneurs. Okay, so this is why I designed the program or the speech or the talk in that order, so that we can understand. I want you all to understand, so that you can become more successful and understand what you need to do. Because I'm an entrepreneur myself. I come from the trenches of entrepreneurship. So every battle that you fought, every disappointment that you've had, I've had. I know what it feels like to keep on pitching. Did you know that, who knows Canva? Canva? Anybody? Perkins, the lady that's the founder of Perkins. Did you know that she had 100 pitches in which they told her no? 100 pitches to present her idea before she got funding. And 100 times she was told no. So you have to have the stomach to continue even though people doesn't believe necessarily in the beginning. Until you get the one yes. That's the same with Thomas Edison. When they said to him, yo, look at all these errors, these mistakes, these failures that you've had when you were sitting and developing the light bulb. And you know what he said? I didn't make mistakes, I didn't have failures. I've just learned hundreds of ways how to not make a light bulb. Until he's got the recipe right. So, you as an entrepreneur need to be resilient. Have to have staying quality. Okay, I always use the quote from Walter Chrysler. It says, I love it when men and women get excited. Because when they get excited, they make a success out of their lives. Okay, enthusiasts are fighters, have fortitude, have staying qualities. With it, there is accomplishment. Without it, there's only allies. There's only stories. So if you have enthusiasm, if you are excited about what you do, you'll stay. Another friend of mine is a very well-known investor down in Cape Town, and he wrote a book, What to Do When You Want to Give Up. It's by Alon Raiz, R-A-I-Z. You can go and Google what to do when you want to give up. And in the first chapter, he explains that one of the biggest reasons why entrepreneurs succeed is because they believe in what they do. They've got the passion test. There's nothing that they'd rather do than solve this big problem. We've got lots of problems in Africa that we want to solve, that we need to solve. Don't you agree? Huh? Well, you all have something that you want to solve. You here. because you're an entrepreneur. So something is waking you up in the morning. It's not just because you want a job. It's not just because you want to make some money. Yes, we all want to have a job. Viktor Frankl said, okay, that they can take everything away from me, but they cannot take away my outlook in life, what makes me get up in the morning. Okay, and Viktor Frankl was a prisoner in a concentration camp, and he saw that people were dying around him, and he was wondering, why are some of the people not giving up? And it's that purpose in life, the purpose of why you're doing this. Now, we might be driven by some passion, by coming up with a medical solution because my mother was sick, or someone's sister was struggling with a disease. So that's the passion that gets you started. But after the passion that gets you started, it's the commitment and the discipline that keeps you going. So you must have the discipline as well. I cannot be, I'm not in that shape anymore, an Olympic athlete if I do not practice. Now I have a very good friend that one day said to me on one of these forums, you know, I want to have a six-pack, but I don't like the exercises. So you cannot have the six-pack if you do not have the discipline to do the exercise. So we talked a little bit about education and training and passion, but it's the will to continue, it's the discipline to continue that will keep you going. So let's look at what we're going to talk about. After the general agenda, there will be some extra bonus time. I don't know how my time is, so they'll have to tell me, and I'll need to watch the time, or you can start to get tired of me talking, and then I'll wrap it up. But there's some bonus material that I have in there, which we can talk about if there's time. Otherwise, we can stay behind. Okay? After these events, I'm staying behind so that you can talk to me. Now, just bearing in mind, there's more than you. There's so many of you, and there's not that many of me. So I'm hoping that the panelists will come up, and then you can speak to the other panelists as well. But I'm more than willing. You can find me anytime during this weekend. I'll be around, and you can talk to me, and you've got my details. You can contact me. Now, the bonus material is if we have extra time left at the end. So when looking to raise funding, one of the most important things, as I've said, is startup needs to be investment ready. Too many times people are starting out and they approach you and say, can you give me money please? But they're not investment ready. What does that mean? When are you ready to receive investments? Okay, the first thing is there's investor expectations. Okay? The investor expectations is you must have a clear vision, the why and who. That's the starting point. Investors want to know, why are you doing this? Okay? What is your business model? How are you going to do it? If I know why you're going to do it, I want to also know how you're going to do it. And I'm trying to find my clicker, my team there at the back. There you go. Okay, so you need to also show the market potential. What is the potential of this business? If you don't have a business that can scale and grow, how are you going to give the investor back money plus returns? Because remember, as I explained, it's not his money, and you want to not be the only one that gets money. You want future generations to also get money, so you need to return that money. And then, what is the numbers? What is the financial figures telling us about your business? So this is what investor expects to see when I'm saying you are investment ready. Okay? Understanding the who does what and why and how. So those are very simple principles. And then showing that there's a big enough market that you actually can scale this business. There's more people that's going to be wanting to do this, but to also have the underlying fundamentals, the numbers, the financial models. Show me how you're going to money. There's that movie from Jerry Maguire. Show me the money. Okay? Show me the money. Now, it's not bad from an investor to want those returns, because he wants you to succeed, but he wants to also invest in other people. Now, some of the common gaps that we find typically is there's lack of proper documentation. If you want to convince me that I need to invest in your business, you need to show me the documentation. You need to show me how you're going to do this. And that should be all in your pitch deck. And many times people don't answer all the questions. So we will have a pitch deck later today that we can look at to say these are the essential things that needs to be in the pitch deck. Okay? The next thing is they're unclear about the real value proposition. What is the real value for your customer when you solving the problem? Now, I always use an example of a Mont Blanc pen or a Gucci handbag for the ladies. Any ladies here that's liking Gucci or Louis Vuitton, you know those bags? No? You don't buy that for the bag, to carry in things. You don't buy a Mont Blanc pen as a writing instrument. That's not why you pay $1,000 for the pen, or the ladies' handbags are even more expensive. Huh? That's not. You buy it for another reason. So you must understand what is the real value that your customer gets out of it. Okay. So understand the value proposition. If you can't explain that to someone, why will they use your product and why are they using your product? You're just answering me the obvious. It's a writing instrument, but why do you pay $1,000 for it? Okay, so understand what is the value proposition for your customer. Those are mistakes people typically do. They've got lack of proper supporting documentation, and then they don't know what is the real value that they get. And then, what is inadequate? Let me just see, what did I write there? Inadequate understanding of investor interest. Oh, that's an important one, yeah. So, we're all people, and we all have things that's exciting us. And there's reasons why investors invest. So understand your investors. What is the interest of the investor? So I said to you in the beginning, I'm a faith-driven entrepreneur. Okay, so my belief is important to me, and as such, as an investor, I'm investing as an angel investor in the first computer game that uses the Bible as the storyline, the characters, and the gameplay, where children can play games and learn about the Bible. Now, who wouldn't want to play a game that learn? And it's not just for Christians, because the Old Testament is the basis for all the basic, the older religions. It's also got all the values in it instilled. Now, if you understand that's my area of interest, you might come to me with a project that's related to that. The second thing I've said to you in the beginning, I said I'm a passionate activist for the economic development of Africa. What does Africa need to develop? 3 things. First of all, 60% of Africans are in subsistence farmers. So if I want to develop Africa, if I want to make a contribution, I must make a difference with agriculture. That's just a numbers game. Okay, if we can help people to generate and move from subsistence farming to commercial farming. You don't have to be the biggest commercial farm. You must just be making more money than your expenditure. Then you can become wealthier. You can take that money, the extra money, and you can reinvest it in your business, grow your business, scale your business, get your children to attend school. So this is the first thing. The second thing is, if we are then making money, and the 60% of Africans are starting to generate more money and becoming richer, the second thing, we need to look at savings. Because that money that I've made, I need to save. I need to move money around. So fintech is a second area that's of interest to me. Because how do we move money around across Africa? And then the third thing, because the population of Africa is now moving towards the cities, okay, not living in rural areas anymore, we need to fix our healthcare. We've got not enough healthcare professionals, and we need to change, and we're getting the biggest and fastest disease burden with these wealthy sicknesses, diabetes, hypertension, those things. Have you heard that? Okay? We need to keep the people alive. We need to get them healthy. Now, I've shared with you a little story to show to you what is my interests. Why am I interested in the things that I'm interested? So when you approach me with something that's not either in one of those categories, health, and he has invested in those things, more than likely he's not going to invest in things that he hasn't shown you of interest. Just like you. Isn't it true? We all have our interests. We all have our passions. So one of the common gaps is people do not do the effort to go and find out what is this investor, what is he interested in. And they just send him the piece check, and I'm like, beautiful, I love it. But this is not my passion. Okay, we all have our passion. Try to find it. It's just like a relationship. Okay? You form relationships with people that share the same passion, that shares the same ideas. Investors are the same. They're just human. They also, I've told you when I invested in the ski resort, my children were small. And I wanted to give them the opportunity to ski. And I couldn't go to Europe. Okay, it's too far. It's too cold. Okay, no, didn't want to. I want other people around me. This is why I invested to get a ski resort. So I told you about my passion. I told you about my interest. Find out what is your investors. What is their passion? Study. Okay. Study what their interests are. Now, that's just the background. Now we start with the hard facts about your business. Okay, we want to now assess your business. Now the investor is going to look at what it is that you are going to do and how successful is that opportunity going to be. So in assessing your business, he's going to look at a couple of things. The first thing is, he's going to, there you go. Look at the problem statement. I'm going to go back to. My clicker is not working very well, so go back to problem statement. There you go. Yeah, yes. So the first thing he's going to look at is your problem statement. The why. Why are you doing it? Is there a real problem? Is there a real need? Okay, so you need to be very clear from the onset. Number one, what is the problem you're solving? Okay, people approach me with social media things like, okay, but why? Why? What's that different from Facebook? What's that different from Instagram? If you don't have a real burning problem, most probably you're going to run out of steam as well, because you're not passionate about why you're solving this problem. And are there other people that has the same problems? Are you the only one that's struggling with that? Okay, I've said to you why I invest in this in the ski resort, because people just like me had children, and we aren't in Southern Africa all able to fly to Europe. Okay, we want more of you to ski. Okay, sadly Ghana's not going to have a ski resort, it's not cold enough. Okay, but we had an opportunity. But understand the problem. The problem was there is no affordable ski holiday winter sports opportunity in Southern Africa. And that's the problem. That's why I started that. You have a similar problem. You need to understand what that problem is and tell your investor, this is the problem, and there's many more people like me that suffer from the same problem. The second thing is the solution. Once you've been able to convince your investor that there's a real problem, what is your solution? How are you going to solve that problem that's different from anything else that's available? So coming up with a very clear, articulated reason for the solution that you're bringing is going to solve the problem, and people are going to flock to get that, that's convincing. Now think about this. The average age in the room, I just need to think a little bit, but somebody said to me yesterday, if we spoke 30 years ago, and I phoned you, for those that's older than 30 years, and said, one day You will not believe. You're going to phone someone and stay in their house. And they're going to pick you up. You're going to phone someone else, and he's going to pick you up with his car in the middle of the night from the airport and drive you to someone else's house. Okay? And then when you're at this person's house, you're going to phone again, and then they're going to bring you food and deliver that to you. Now, I might be giving away my age, but if you told me that 30 years ago, I'd say to you, crazy. Number one, I'm not going to stay in nobody's house. Number two, I'm not going to drive with anybody anywhere. And number three, I'm not going to ask somebody to bring me food. And while I'm on that holiday, I'm going to phone someone else, and then they're going to deliver something to me, like a camera I might be buying or some electrical equipment from some shop somewhere. Now, what I've explained to you are Uber, Airbnb, Amazon, and now it's all reality. You are the ones that's going to create the next reality. The conference is, yes, there you go. You are the people that's going to create the next reality. And I've invited some people from last year's GEF, and I don't know if Frederick is here. He said he's going to come. I don't know if Frederick is here, but people that are playing around with AI. Do you know the highest concentration of Web3 skills in the world is in Nigeria? Huh? Web3 is going to take over the world. We're going to integrate payments, and we're going to use AI, and some of the brightest AI. I'm forming a little group of African AI specialists. I'm taking them from one in Kenya, one in Ghana, one in Nigeria, so that they can work together, and we're going to solve problems with AI that the Americans and the Europeans can't do. You have the tools. The world is going to change, and you are going to change it, and you must believe that. So, the future lies in the projects and the solutions you're going to come up. So first of all, understand the problem. Secondly, understand the solution and explain that to the person. Explain to him that the highest propensity towards Web3 experts sits in Nigeria, and this is why Nigeria will lead the forefront of solving Africa's and the world's Web3 problems. The next thing is understand the value proposition. I've told you a little bit earlier, we spoke about understand what is the real value that you're driving, what you're delivering. If you don't understand the real value, you won't be able to understand what is the customer willing to buy. Okay. So, if you understand what is the real value for the customer, you'll be able to get repeat customers, and your investor will want to make sure that that drives real value, sustainable business, and you'll be able to continue this business because customers really want that and they're not getting it somewhere else. Okay. And then a very important aspect is market potential. Okay. How big is the market? How many customers are there? Okay. We want to ultimately build a business that's going to return funds, and therefore it must be able to grow. Now, I've heard too many times African entrepreneurs say, but we don't like venture capital. We don't want, because they want these big returns. Okay? If the big returns isn't given, you're not going to get more money, more other investors. I went and I joined a VC fund in Silicon Valley. And coming from Africa, I must say to you, that was quite an experience. Lived in San Francisco. Now, the one thing that was interesting is that my little apartment that I could afford was smaller than my walk-in closet where I stay in South Africa. And it was at the same price. So, but the other experience that was quite amazing when I was there is the fact that the market opportunity, and the reason why people are investing in businesses because the market, they see the market is so big. And they look at the American market, and I'm thinking, oh, you don't know about the African market. Okay? That market is big. Now, we've been, for too long, people have looked down on us. Yes. You know what they said when cell phones came out? No, the Africans can't afford cell phones. Now we have the highest density, the highest, what is the English word? I'm running out of English words. It's my page, you go English now. The highest penetration of cell phones in the world. And they thought that this is a technology that Africans can't afford. Yet, people in Nigeria, and maybe here in Ghana as well, have 2, 3 cell phones. I still can't figure out, one is enough for me. Okay, why you want 2, 3s? Anybody here can explain to me afterwards. But it's the highest propensity and penetration of cell phones in the world because we use it not for, we don't have telephones. We don't have the infrastructure. We're going to create solutions for it and we'll find ways to pay for it. And therefore the market potential for cell phones and for products in Africa is much bigger with our 1.2, 1.3, 1.4 billion people and growing. Okay, so find solutions for the people around you and have a big enough market and you'll make money. And you'll have a successful business. So going to our list again, after you've shown that you've got a problem, you've got a solution for that problem, you've got a real understanding of the value proposition and what is the market potential, how big is the market for people wanting cell phones in Africa, you need to show that you've got the right team. Investors invest in people. Just like you. You invest in people because you believe the people can. So show me that your team is passionate. Show me that your team is capable and is able to do what you actually expect of them. So looking at the team, they're going to evaluate if your team are capable of doing and delivering this project. Because even if the investors does not necessarily, I'm 100% convinced that everything, all the answers is there. They want to know that the team can turn it around, and if it needs to be, they need to pivot. They can switch a little bit, because we all start out with an idea of how we're going to solve the problem, but then reality hits us. You realize, I've got to pivot, I've got to change it a little bit. I thought this is going to be it. An investor that's able to pivot, an investor that's able to stay the course, will be the one, an entrepreneur, a founder that's willing, that's able to stay the course, will attract the investment from the investor. And then lastly, your operational readiness. How able are you to deliver on this? Okay, with operational and readiness comes also a little bit of traction. You need to show that you have got customers. Okay, it's very difficult to raise investments when you've got no customers. So I was sitting with an entrepreneur yesterday before the conference started, and he's developed 3-4 AI solutions. Okay, and each time I'm asking me, how many customers do you have? Okay, how many people are using your product? Because I need to show traction. I need to show that I'm operational ready. I'm able to deliver it. Then we can talk about scale. If you cannot show me that that what you built, that you've created, there's people actually willing to pay for it, it's just a hobby. Okay, we all have hobbies, but nobody's paying me for my hobby. So you need to show that you can do it, operationally you can do it, and you need to have customers, and there need to be some traction. So let's go to the next one. So these are the things that investors will want to look at when they say that they are going to assess your business. Now this is just a quick, I call it the elevator pitch essentials. If you meet an investor, I met an investor downstairs just before I came into to do the talk. And you've got a few minutes to catch his attention. Okay? You don't have time for a full pitch and your full pitch deck with you, because you're meeting him on the hallway, on the way there. You're going to meet lots of investors. I've personally invited a number of VCs to be here. Okay? And you'll meet them and you'll see them. Okay? We want you to talk to them. But understand that you're not going to have time, because there's going to be hundreds of other people that also want to talk to him or her. And you won't be able to tell him the entire story. Have your essentials, your elevator pitch ready. Be clear on what it is, what you're solving, how you're solving it. Have an elevator pitch. And that elevator pitch needs to have some of these things. So this is an actual evaluation sheet that we use when we present to our partners. So VC funds have partners meetings. So you meet one of the people, analysts, they look at your project and they ask these questions. You need to be able to answer. Company, what industry, what stage are you, early stage, pre-revenue, post-revenue, have you started making money, have you got customers, have you got traction, how long can you go, you know all those things? You want to know that. And then they pitch this to the partners because they need to convince the partners to put in the money. And that's your elevator pitch deck that you need to have ready. You need to be able to answer exactly what it is that you're doing, and that is an actual partners meeting pitch that I've shown on there that shows you the areas that you need to cover. What is the target market? Talks about what is the market you want to get to. What is the problem? What is the need? What is the solution? We've spoken about what is the revenue model? What's your business model? How are you making money? And if you can't have answers for these things very short and fast, you're going to lose the opportunity to speak to that investor and to get him to invest in you, because you won't be able to. So be clear, get that and practice that. Now, a sales pitch, I come from sales. Okay? You get better the more you tell it, the more you pitch it. Okay, and Melanie Perkins, I'm sure, is very good after 100 pitches in which I said to her, no, they're not going to invest in Canva. Must have been very good on the 101th attempt to summarize what it is that she has and to convince an investor to ultimately give the money. So all of those things is important. Have it ready and be able to answer that. On the next slide, have pictures. Shows 1,000. One picture is worth 1,000 words. You've seen that. Now this is just some graphic depiction to show you that you need to have the most important things at your fingertips. This is my market share. This is the growth. This is what. So whatever it is in your business, and one of those favorite things, TAM, SAM, SOM, the total available market, the SAM is the service obtainable market. Is the investor's interest? What are they interested in? What it is that they want to look at and assess your business. Now we're going to get to when you're now starting to pitch this investor-ready pitch deck. The first thing is a problem and the solution. We spoke about that. Next, we've got, so you've been clear on the need and the solution. You've spoken about traction. You've spoken about financial projections. We spoke about financial projections. We just touched on it, but we can add a little bit on the financial projections to say, you must have a financial model to show me where the money is going to come from and how you're going to grow. And those need to be realistic. So have financials that shows what it is, not just in the best of times, because investors many times not look at the amount. I've heard 25,000. How much money? Anybody? How much? 50,000. I've got 25. I've got 50. I've got. Anybody else? 100,000. Okay. So an investor listens to how much you say you need, how much you want. And then to the back of his mind, the first question he asks is, what if? And your financial projections are going to show how you're going to use that money. And then the most important question he asks himself is, what if? What if that's not enough? Now I've just spent $100,000 on your business, 25,000, 50,000. What if it's not enough? So one of the most convincing things you need to show him is that it is going to be enough, okay? And you've been more than pessimistic in terms of what it's going to cost you and below optimistic about how much money you're going to bring in. So it's not just the money that you're going to use that you're going to tell him. He wants to make sure that once I've spent the 100, now I'm in. Now what? Then you come back to me and say, I want another 100. Okay? So he wants to make sure that those financial projections doesn't just show me the optimistic, oh, it's going to be great. Also shows me what if. What extra money should I have available so that I can make sure that you are going to be able to succeed at the end of the day. So don't just look at financial projections in a one-sided way, because I've never ever seen a business in all my years, seen a business plan that does not make money. Have anybody drafted a business plan that shows, we're not going to make money? Huh? All of your business plans are making money? Yeah. Okay. Now, look at those realistic expectations of what is the worst case scenario, not just showing me the positive. Okay, because nobody here sits with a business plan that's not making money, but show me that what is the underlying reasons why you believe it. And traction is therefore important. Because now I can show you two terms that is important is lifetime value and cost of acquiring a customer. Okay, and this is mostly in SaaS and product projects where the cost of acquiring a customer is $10, but the lifetime value that I'm getting from this customer is $100. You will not have enough time to get investors, if that is really the case. Okay, you will have investors lining up to give you their money because you're going to take their 10 and you can turn it in 100. And if you can properly show that is realistically what you're doing, there's no investor that will say no to you. Even those ones that I say to you is not interested in your industry, they'll become interested in you because you're turning 10 rand into 100 rand because your lifetime value is 100 and it costs them 10 to get a new customer. So understand the financials, understand what is the drivers that's going to make your business successful, and the investor needs to see that. Okay, thank you. And then the next thing is a virtual deal room. Once you've now decided, you've convinced the investor, he's looking at it, he's got to do a due diligence. And in the deal room, they're looking at a couple of things. So that is somewhere where you start compiling your documentation, because I can't just take your word and your pitch deck is not enough. Now you're starting to say, I'm getting together my legal structure. There's a company, it's got a registration number, it's got a tax number. I've got all of the legal documents there. I've got my financial projections with my current financials, audited financial statements, all of those things are in there. The due diligence documentation that's needed, I've got customers, how many customers have I got, what is the contract, how good is your contract? All the documents that a customer is looking for, an investor is looking for, to make sure that what you're saying to him is actually true and that he can evaluate all the risks. So a due diligence is always crucial, and nobody's going to give you money without a due diligence, and therefore build your deal room before you start asking for funds. And then lastly, if you've got any IP, trademarks or intellectual property or some protection, have the documents there. Okay, because the investor wants to see that. So build your deal room before you start asking for money. Because if you do it afterwards, you're going to be busy trying to collect all the documents and make sure. Get ready when you're starting out already. Get ready with all the documentation that's going to prove what it is that you want. And then next is the different funding options. There are the funding landscape. You need to also just understand what type of funding is available out there. Now I've called they've broken down in a couple of things. First of all is your angel investors. You've heard I'm an angel investor. So, and we jokingly refers to the 3 Fs. Those are friends, families, and fools. Okay, if you have angel investors comes first, my resort. Okay, angel investors comes first, my resort. Okay, and most of the time they do it because of passion. They do it because of some reason. So that's the first level of potential investors, is those angel investors that believe in what you're doing, believe it in what you are setting out to do. And then the second level is the VC firms. Once you've got some traction, typically venture capital firms want to see some results. They want to see they're getting money from investors, and they want to invest in you, but they want to see some traction. They want to see. So there you can get money from venture capitalists. And only later, when you started to show regular returns and the company's now gone past the initial phases and it's post-revenue, it's making money, will you get your private equity firms to invest in you. And then you also have, I call them the alphabet soup that you can approach. DFIs, Development Funding Institutions. The GEZ and the BIA and they're all good alphabet letters. You've seen them. Okay, very difficult to get funding from them because they're so bureaucratic and such a long process, but sometimes people get, and there's a lot of programs that actually support entrepreneurs. So those are all the places that you can raise, and then obviously financial institutions, you can go and raise finance from banks and institutions. In Africa, we struggle with that. Okay, it's my passion to try and change that. I want to try and find more investors to get investing in African companies. Thank you very much. so that we can invest in you, but we've got to show the returns. Show me the money. Okay, so that we can show these investors that we've got great investment opportunities, and we've got the people and the talent that's going to make the rest all to give amazing returns. But you always have to return the funds. Nobody's going to give money away. Okay, so we want to make sure that we actually responsible with the money that investors invest in us. But those are the places that you can go and have a look. Now, I've spoken about synergies. I've spoken about working together. One of the most important things is that we, and this is why I form the WhatsApp group after the GEF each year. I want you all to join the WhatsApp group and to then share your stories, share what you're struggling with, share where you are finding investors, okay? Because you don't want to be the only one that is raising the funding and finance. You want to share that, and if they work together, as a collective, we'll be a lot stronger. Okay. Thank you. Now, it's almost getting to the end now. The room is getting fuller. But choosing the right investor. The other criticism I always hear is from people saying, but is this the right investor for me? You must never, ever get an investor because you're desperate. Okay. You don't go shopping for food when you're hungry. Have you heard that? Because you'll put in a lot of extra stuff into your basket. So don't go raise funding when you're desperate, because then you'll take anything. You must find an investor that aligns with your vision and purpose. He must be somebody that believes in you and what you do, and they must be able to show you and open doors for you. I only invest in businesses that I can help, that I can help grow and scale, that I can introduce to people, because then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm actually helping them to get to the next level, and that's something that was taught to me by my partner in Silicon Valley, that said, if I can introduce you to somebody that's going to use your products, you're not going to be only getting money from me, but you're going to get business from me. And it's much more important that you get business and you're successful, because then you'll be able to return the funds. So, industry expertise and networks. That was what I was just talking about. You need to get an investor that has got contacts, that has got a network that can help you. It's not just about the money. Okay? If you're looking at only the money, then you're going to be always shortchanged, because he's going to look at getting returns back and he's not able to assist you. So those are a couple of things. I just want to see if there's one more thing. Negotiation tips, knowing valuation fundamentals. You must know what is the value of your company, because if you're raising finance, there's calculations to find out what is the interest rate you should be paying. And we're being extorted in Africa. Okay, I hear interest rates of 30%, and it's crazy. Okay, because the risk that they're assigning to that finance is way out of proportion. So have the ability to negotiate with your investors, whether it's finance and funding. If you want to raise funding, you want to get an investor. The investor is buying a stake of your business. Now, I'd like to invest in a business where that business is going to grow, and the value of the company is going to grow, so that ultimately someday I'm going to get out. Okay? And you must be able to negotiate with your investor and understand what is the value, what is the value in your business. And therefore, when you get to that point, that you can have a reasonable discussion with him. So there's various valuation methods that you can use. We're not going to go into that. Yeah, I think that was the main things that I wanted to touch on. So thank you very much. You've been very patient. I don't know, who's my timekeeper? Patrick, are we on time? Have I spoken too much? How are you feeling? Has it helped?
Yes.
Did you get something new?
Yes.
Was there a golden nugget? Okay, we at Stanford talk about feedback as a gift. So give me feedback. Any questions? Yes. Is there another roving mic that we can share with her? Do we have a mic?
Okay, I think I can shout.
Yes.
So, I have actually been in a bit of like
there's a mic coming. But you've got to be faster than that. These are entrepreneurs. They don't walk slowly to the next place. They're running out. They're chasing their dreams. Yes.
Okay, so I've been in a couple of entrepreneurial programs, right? And I've been given the opportunity to pitch 3 times. And every time I've been on the panel, it's full of men. And for me, I deal in like fashion. I had a problem, I had what I wanted to solve, I had my numbers, I had the figures I was making. And one thing you said was getting an investor that is interested. So if I've been given the opportunity 3 times, and it's men that are looking for agriculture, fintechs, they're looking for things that have to do with AI, I don't think I've gotten the opportunity to get anyone that aligns with my vision, although I've even put myself out there. So how would I be able to capture like opportunities with individuals that also understand where I'm coming from? Because you are speaking about figures. I have my Shopify figures, I have everything you need to believe in me, but it's still not aligning with people, especially, no offense, they are men, and on top of everything too, they are old. So I feel like maybe they don't understand where I'm coming from. But I feel like if you see what I stand for, you should understand. Like, I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
I understand exactly what you're saying. I'll give it a... My answer to you is you're in the wrong room. Not here. You're in the wrong room when you're pitching to a group of men. Okay, because your product will be better understood by somebody that is in that same... So you're talking to the wrong people. You need to talk. And I can say to you, so I'm a big supporter of female development. Okay? So I really believe that money being given to female entrepreneurs, history has shown, the statistics show that they better return than the men. Okay? Our men, we have a problem. We think too big. Okay? And we don't always return. Okay, it comes from the hunter-gatherer days. History shows that if the men stayed at home and worked the fields, the protein that they will produce would have been much more. But what do we want to do? We want to be hunter-gatherers. We want to know. Okay, so yes, I fully support female founders. But you need to talk to investors that has got female partners. I have just brought on board a female founder partner in Synergos from Nigeria, because she understands, and she needs to, you need to talk to people that think like you, look like you, feel like you. And if you've got a female product, you can't pitch to a bunch of males that does not understand it. Zuri, I've got a company that's, I'm going to give another chance now. So I've got, for instance, in Southern Africa, a company called Womb Hub. Women Hub, Womb Hub, you can search it. They invest now, they're not in fashion. So they invested in, it's a fund that invests in female founders in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and maths. Okay, so you need to, if you're a female founder and you are in STEM, talk to a company that understands that has gone through engineering, a female, very, very successful female founders. And they can talk and understand exactly what you're talking about. So you'll be getting money from them if you were in STEM. But find investors. So I have got a company that was on the program, Zuri, raised finance. A cosmetic company, female founder. She's actually here. She's going to get an award. One of the nominations for a Global Entrepreneurship Recognition Award. She's done very well. She's been successful. She's been featured on, I think it's Forbes, the other day. Female, you can speak to her, so come to me, I'll put you in touch with her and she'll tell you who to speak to. Okay, find the right room. Somebody there at the back?
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Francisca. I'm a farmer. So in your presentation, you made mention of some key things that we require to have on our pitch deck. And you mentioned getting your IP, getting your trademark. Does it apply to all entrepreneurs? Because we have startups, and getting an IP and a trademark is even a capital for some of our startups. And so assuming I have my business registered, I have FDA, I have track records and all the documentations that I'm indeed into business, but then I'm unable to have the IP or the trademark. Does that disqualifies me? Thank you.
Thank you for that question, Francisco. Very good question. So, understanding that not all companies, and trademarks specifically and patents, are very expensive. I've been involved in a company that has had trademarks, and the sheer cost of keeping that open, and then you want to start exporting to the world, you need to get IP protection for every country. You can't just get that. So yes, it is very expensive. And no, the answer is it doesn't always disqualify you. Okay? You are pitching to investors based on what it is that gives you that protection. So if you're a company that solely rely on some form of protection, number one, I already caution you against that. Because anybody can do something a little bit different, and then that patent becomes null and void in any case. So I'm not a big personal believer in the patent protection or the trademark protection, because you've got to do something different and better than the next company that comes around. And if you're only relying on patent protection, you go through history of company after company that somebody changed just a slight little bit and then they found competition. So rather focus on doing something better, different, have some unique, sustainable, competitive, compelling position that puts you apart from anybody else. Now, that is even more so in agriculture, where it's more in technical companies. So I hope that answered.
Wow, I really love what's going on here today. A lot of ladies are really asking a lot of questions, and that's very great. Okay, yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity. My name is Pisla, and I'm a founder for an insurance mobile application. It's not out yet, it's still in the process. And from all what you said, I feel like I'm still in like level 0, because I was thinking I have made a lot of progress, but from your word now, there's still more work to do. But my question right now is, as a startup right now, do I have to make profits in order for me to go and pitch to investors? Do I need money? Like, should my business start generating money before I start pitching to my investors? Then if it's that, then I feel like a lot of us might not even start, because money actually helps the business to grow. If I don't have any, how should my business grow? Thank you so much.
Thank you. So, no, you don't. You need to be in the right room. So you need to understand investors. Some investors are willing, understandably less of them, to invest in businesses that are pre-revenue. Okay? But you'll have to be really convincing to say to them, we don't make money yet, we don't have customers yet, but this dream is going to change everything fundamentally. Now, there has been cases where people have been successful. You'll have to be very convincing that you've identified a need, you've got a solution, even though you haven't got money yet. But understand that it's more difficult. It's a lot easier for an investor to sleep well at night when they've seen that you've already got customers and you're starting to make money. So that's unfortunately the reality, but find investors that is at that stage of your development. They tell you, okay, most investors. Now I've pitched to investors. I'm currently pitching to investors. Okay, projects that are pre-revenue and post-revenue. But when I pitch pre-revenue, I know that there's certain people that I've got in current investment that I'm doing that I can't even take to my partners in Silicon Valley because it's too early for them. It's too difficult. I've got to first show them that I can do it. So it depends on who you're talking to, whether they be willing to do that, and understand the earlier you are, the less investors that's in that. It's like anything in life. Okay? People don't necessarily want to take big risks. They would rather take a little bit of risk. So who you're talking to will determine whether that investor are able and willing to take the risk. Yes.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Anita, and my question is more based on an advice that I would want from you personally. So as a founder of a tea brand that I'm coming up with, the market is already saturated with foreign brands such as the Chinese and the English tea brands. What advice would you give to a Ghanaian tea brand that is focused on using locally sourced ingredients that is native to Ghana to be able to also saturate that market and be a part of that market?
Very good question. What is that compelling differentiated value proposition that you have that's different? So in any business, we have to do something different. We have to distinguish ourselves from the next person. You can't just do the same that anybody else does. So even if it's a local brand with a local area coming from a specific area, or doing it infused with essential herbal things, do something different. So the challenge that you will have as an investor is you must always convince an investor and yourself, even for your business, that we're doing something different. Otherwise, you're just competing and it's a straight on. And fighting against price is a spiral to the bottom. Okay, someone is going to always be cheaper than what you can do it. So find a way that you can be different, and then find a way that makes you unique. And one thing could be infusing it with, that's what organic stuff is all about. People said, listen, I'm willing to pay more because this is environmentally friendly, or this is organic. So that's just a way that people have found to say, I'm going to do it different from just the normal commercial brands that's out competing me. Now, I'm not an expert in that area, but yes.
Good afternoon. Thank you. Great talk. My name's Kevin Fry. I'm the CEO of Just Keep Going Incorporated. I'm a board member on the International Board of Ethics and AI out of Toronto, Canada, and SingularityNet ambassador. But I work with the National Sports Authority here to digitally transform the sports economy of Ghana using artificial intelligence and blockchain. This is an entrepreneurship conference, so I have one question. Can I come give you my card and get 5 minutes of your time to talk about it?
Always welcome, and anybody can do that, so yes.
Thank
Just keep going. I love the name. Okay, so I've been told that I need to wrap up. Apparently, I've overstayed my welcome. I hope that you've really enjoyed this session. Do not worry that I will be around. Okay, you can talk to me. You've got my LinkedIn. You'll find me. Okay, and you can stop me anytime. I'm here for 3 days. I hardly sleep. I'm here to listen to you, to help you, to give you advice wherever I can. And if the talk was worth your while, thank you very much. I appreciate all of you.
Can we give a round of applause for Joanne this morning? Thank you very much. So I know it's been an insightful afternoon, and just immediately, just to save our time, we are going to, if you have more questions, please feel free to reach out to Joanne on LinkedIn. His name is Joanne Richards. That's Johan Richards on LinkedIn. So you can send a LinkedIn request. So just almost immediately, we're going to have the panel session very briefly. So I know we have lots of questions, but just to keep us updated, as soon as it's 2 p.m., we're going to start the pitch sessions. So that's going to happen at Damba Hall. It's just as soon as you get out of the door, you move towards the right. Then the pitch sessions will happen there. So if you're here to pitch today, just make your way down to Damba Hall after the panel session is over. But how's it been so far? Awesome, insightful, yes. You're about to receive more. Say more. Tell your neighbor more. Yes, you're going to get more. So we're just going to wait for them to set up the stage at the moment for the panel session. But I know we have our panelists ready. Can we just be careful with the cable? Thank you. Okay. So one by one, I'm going to introduce our panelists this morning. It's okay. Leave it. It's just four people. Just 4 people. Okay. Thank you very much. So as I introduce each of the panelists, I just want you to give them a round of applause because they're coming here to share, very, very deep insights with us. And today we're going to be talking about financial readiness when it comes to investment. So there have been lots of questions. Oh, what do I need to have for an investor to put some money down on my business or in my business? You know, and these panelists are people who come with a very, very long and very deep wealth of experience. And so first, I'm going to start by introducing our first panelist for today. On his LinkedIn profile, he has something, it's a phrase. It says, "That's how it's always been done." And he says, that has always given him a mild allergic reaction. This person launched his first business in his last year of high school, mostly because he couldn't stand waiting for life to start. Oh, wow. Can we just give a round of applause for Fadil Al-Tazi, the CEO, the founder and CEO of Nexford University. Fadil, join us on stage, please. Oh, wow. Thank you very much. Thank you. And the next person I'm going to introduce, we've just heard from him not too long. Joan, is Joan still in the room? Can we give a round of applause for Joan Richards as well? Thank you. And also like to call on Messi Osei Bimpong. Messi is the finance lead at Payaza. It's a fintech company here in Ghana. Yes. We have one more person on our list this morning. He was also on several panel sessions during the 2024 Global Entrepreneurship Festival. This person is a CEO and award-winning marketing and business strategist, is a leader in digital transformation, MRV, and tech innovation. He is currently the Chief Executive Officer of Digital Experts Marketing Consultancy, all the way from the UAE. Can we welcome Ala Khalifa? Thank you very much. Okay. Yes. So can we get the extra mic, please? Okay. So one by one, we're going to ask a couple of questions. But the panelists are here to just help us provide or give more insights, especially from the investor's perspective, you know, to some of the questions that we have. So we're going to start with the first question for today. The first question for today. When you hear, and this is directed to you panelists, when you hear investment ready, what does that really mean from your side of the table? I think this can be the first general question that we could take it one by one. But what does it really mean when you hear investment ready? So Ala, I'm going to start with you first, if that's okay. Okay.
Can you turn it on? Right. Good afternoon, everyone. And just a little correction. I live in UAE, but I'm an Egyptian and proud Egyptian. Okay? So, for an investment or to get an investment opportunity, you need to be resilient, you need to be clear, you need to be focused. Often, a lot of business owners, they go in several directions without focusing. Focusing means attracting investors. Readiness means getting your documentations ready, getting your storytelling, attracting those. There is often a mistake. People think that investors or VCs, they look only for the money. They look for the return. That's not true. They look for credibility. They look for communication, and they look for resilience. If they find confidence in you, if they find resilience, if they find direct and constant communication, if they see your story is credible, if they look into the numbers, the CAC number, the LTV numbers, the churn number. Do you know what the CAC number is? Does anyone know? Okay, it's your value, the value of your customer acquisition. And here where marketing comes in as an important role. Because without marketing, you'll never be able to estimate how much it costs you to get that customer, how much it costs you to reach your target audience, how much it costs you for conversion. Churn factor means if you have a 100 customer and 5% of them dropped, that means you have a drop rate of 5% every year for your customers. But what if you have 50%? Let me tell you what it means for investors to be interested in your business: confidence, resilience, and understanding of your marketing values. If you don't do marketing is essential. If you don't do marketing, if you don't calculate how much your customers acquisition, your target audience, your sustainability in keeping those audience, and also the value or the life cycle of each audience, of each customer you have. If you don't clarify all of these things, no investor will be able to invest, and they will lose.
And stories is sometimes a word misused or misrepresented, thinking it's a fallacy, it's a fictional story. You need to be able to tell your story convincingly that that investor believes in the figures that you've shown, that which you measure is actually going to deliver the results that you say. So that is actually going to deliver the results that you say. So that which you do not measure, you cannot manage. Therefore, you have to measure, say, well, this is the amount we've lost, and therefore, this is how we're going to get it back, and then measuring to show that you've actually pivoted and that your change in direction actually measures and you're achieving better results next time around.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
So Fadil,
Yeah,
what do you think?
So I agree with what my fellow panelists said. I guess first we need to ask, like, what stage is the business to begin with? So depending on what stage your startup is in, the answer is going to change. If you're still at idea stage, you're not going to have a lot of data. That's just the reality. So I know to some of the founders in the room today, all of this stuff may sound overwhelming because it's just an idea. All you have is a PowerPoint, really. So what are you going to measure, right? So, if it's an idea, I would say this is sort of the formula. I've been building startups for the past 20 years or so. I would say the first thing is the problem. You need to have that super clearly defined. What is the problem I'm solving? And is it a real problem? Second is, what is the size of that problem? Are there enough people that actually share that problem? And does everyone think it's a problem or only you? The third is, what is your solution to the problem? Fourth is, why is this solution better than the other ones that exist? And then the fifth is proof that you are the right person to execute on that solution. Now, under that last point, there's a lot of sub-points. But ultimately, if it's just an idea, I think, as you spoke about earlier, every financial projections in the history of the world show the graph going like this, right? No one shows, oh, my revenue is going to be flat for the coming 10 years. So it doesn't matter, really. So investors will spend 10 minutes on your financials at the pitch level, at best, if it's just an idea. It doesn't matter. What an investor is investing in, what is an idea, is their confidence in your ability to execute. That's what you need to focus on. And 90% of that, and trust me on this, 90% of that confidence is derived from your ability to communicate effectively. You need to communicate really, really clearly. All the data is part of your...
You're doing as a startup business or a business within the mid-level or needing any form of investment. And one thing you have to do is build that consistency. After you've identified the product and then you've ensured that this product is market ready, that is, it has the fit which will solve a particular problem for the citizens. Are you able to identify, do you understand or even believe in whatever products you are setting up yourself? You can be an investor, but you will not believe in what you are even building. And you would stand before people and engage with them to invest in you. Meanwhile, your confidence does not even show that, oh, whatever I've built as an insurance app, as a fashion designer, It's something that can meet the needs of the people. You should be consistent enough in whatever you are delivering. And then whichever approach, be it your team that you've set up, there should be some form of consistency within the team members that you have, that you are working with. These team members' consistency should be seen in the solid plan or proposal that you have presented to the investors whom you would want them to invest in your business. And you should make sure that you are not lacking anything in terms of your models, your financial models. Yes, both the storytelling and then the financial models you would present are very important. They are very crucial to whatever you do. So if I'm looking at a business presentation and I'm asking myself, why should Piazza or why should I invest in this business? I'll be looking at how consistent you are in presenting, how confident you are presenting whatever it is. When I do the maths from the back forward, instead of the normal route of doing it from forward back, would I be able to see you being able to generate the revenue and meet whatever goals you are stating that you would want your business to, projecting that your business should be able to meet. So be consistent, build that form of consistency in whatever you're doing, be confident about it, have a good plan, stick to the plan. If the plan is going wayward, make sure you're coming back to the drawing board. And I believe that if you are really investment ready, if you are ready for someone to tap in and fund your business, you'd be able to speak and consistently and being able to also exhibit that form of confidence in the product you have built yourself, as well as make sure that you have a good financial system. And one key way is to engage fintech companies whereby you'd be able to have good financials to show that, okay, I am at this stage of this business, the transactions I do comes up in this volume, this quantity. You'd be able to identify your customer retentions. And even on these platforms, you're able to tell that, okay, I have A, B, C, D as customers. E, F, G have gone all wayward. They are no more with us. And how do I go back to them? With these, being able to identify various applications or softwares, there are most ones which are free online, which you'd be able to use to check the growth of your business. You'd be able to use to monitor what you are doing and how best you want to get this idea you have across board. It will help you as a business. It will help you grow, and then believe in the growth that you are doing. You don't start from ground 1 and then go to ground 100 just like that. You build consistently. Believe in whatever you do, and I believe that you'll be successful as an investor, as a pitch person, and then an investor will definitely come to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So just, to wrap up the question, an investor once told me, you know what, don't think about investment as too big. As you're seated right now, before you lend 30 or 100 cedis or 100,000 naira to anybody, what do you think about? The first thing is, can this person pay me back? Second is, does this person earn enough to be able to pay me back? And third, can I trust that what this person does truly can generate that money to pay me back? So think about yourself in that line. If your startup doesn't meet any of these criteria, then you're not ready. Okay, so our next question is going to be a quick fire. So I'm going to start from that way back here, a quick fire. So if a startup had 90 days, just 90 days to become investor ready, what exactly should they prioritize? Just one thing that you think they should prioritize.
I would say their product fit for market.
Product fit for market. Okay, thank you very much. All right, then, Fadil.
I mean, it's such a tough question, but I would say show proof of traction. That ultimately will, any gap that you have can be filled if you show that the market is responding positively to your product. Yeah. So any proof that there are customers there either buying or willing to buy your product.
Thank you very much. Joanne?
Compelling, differentiated value proposition. We're doing something compelling, we're doing it different, and we're delivering real value.
Thank you.
If in 90 days, if I'm a CEO for a startup and I only have 90 days, to meet an investor, I need to get my pitch ready. It's the first thing. I need to get my story ready, my numbers ready.
Take notes.
I need to act as if it's the last day I'm pitching. You know, it's like pray as if you're going to die tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's it. Act as if it's the last day of pitching. Get your story right. Do the right governance. Show them your traction story. If you have an LOI, if you have a pilot project, if you have a partnership, these are tractions. Put the right figures. Explain a sustainable model with credibility and resilience.
Yeah.
And when you do that, make sure you include what investors are looking at. CAC, LTV. CAC is the calculation of your value. The value of how much costing you for customer acquisition. The LTV is the lifetime value of your customer, which means if you have a customer, how many months he's going to stay with you? 1 month, 2 months, 3 months? How much he's going to realize that you have no value? When we sell things, we don't sell with price. We sell with value. So if you don't show the value to your customer, you have lower LTV. So every investor is looking for a higher LTV. And this is where the rule of marketing comes in. Marketing everyone. Marketing makes it right for you. And the next thing is to get your traction right. And my final verdict in this, pitch, get prepared as if it's your last day pitching for investment.
Thank you very much. Okay, so because of time, we're just going to take one more question for the panelists. And this one, even a more quicker fire session. So if you have like maybe 3 seconds. What was that one red flag that stopped you from immediately investing in a startup, even if the idea was good? Brilliant idea, brilliant founder, everything looked squeaky clean, but there was one red flag. What was that red flag for you?
Trust. Trust.
Trust.
You have to trust someone when you give them money. Whether that be friends or family or investors, trust. I need to trust that what he says he's going to do, he's going to give the money back, he's going to achieve, he's going to stay the course. Trust.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
If the numbers just don't make sense at all, because it shows either the person is incompetent or dishonest or they didn't do their work. And there are 3 problems.
Numbers. Awesome.
I was going to say numbers too.
Numbers.
He said numbers because
So
I'm
we're-
a numbers person.
Numbers has 2 votes already. That's good.
Yeah. In
Okay.
addition to this, I'll say there should be a clear vision. Yeah. So I should be able to see the vision behind it, even as you are presenting or you are pitching out to us as an investor.
Yeah. Not just the idea, the vision. Okay, thank you. So Ala, finally.
Okay. Red flags?
Yeah.
3.
One red flag.
I will tell you your 3. The 3 red flags. First one, you're not focusing. So my red flag, anyone wants me to invest in his business, that this founder is not focusing on the business. You need to focus on one direction. If that person is focusing in 4, 5, 7 directions, he's not, it's raising a red flag and he's not the right person for investment. So focus. Focus.
Focus.
So if you want to not being labeled as a red flag, focus on your line of business. Don't go through 7, 8 different directions and expect to be accepted. Secondly, you want the second one?
Yeah. One for the road.
One for all. Secondly, is that you're not gaining the trust. And the only way to gain the trust is to put credible numbers. If your numbers are created out of the air, not calculated well, you are raising a red flag. And the third thing is confidence. If I have someone with the right numbers and the right focus, but he's not confident of his product, of his story, that there is a target audience for his product, that he's solving a problem for his customer, he's not confident, he's not my business to invest in. It's a third red flag. Thank you.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for our panelists this afternoon as we bring the masterclass to a close this afternoon. I know we have questions. I don't think we have the time for all the questions, but I think we can take one. Just one question. Who's that lucky person? One question. Yeah. Who said yeah? Who said it? Yeah, please come forward. That's what I was looking for. If you want something, you take it. Yeah. Who wants £5? Nobody wants it. If you wanted it, you'd be here by now. He's already here, just one person. Hold his tag first and redeem it with it. No, I'll redeem the £5 and take my tag back. Okay, so one question for the panelists. One question. Please make it very quick.
Okay. Good day, everyone. My name is Tolulope Adeola Adebayo, founder of Diversity.com. It's a marketplace connecting investors to entrepreneurs. So I have a question with respect to focus, like you mentioned earlier on. Are there exceptional cases where a business can try to attend to like use products to attend to multiple areas of interest, and you will still find them feasible? Yeah.
Just repeat the question.
So the question, are there exceptional cases? Like he was responding to the question of focus for entrepreneurs. And I'm trying to find out, are there exceptional cases where a business model can attend to multiple cases and still be feasible?
No. The answer is no. You can't be diverting your attention towards several areas and expect success. See, this is what we call horizontal growth and vertical growth. If you want to be successful, be vertical. Don't be horizontal. Be horizontal when you spend 10 years of the business. When you already have that first business standing on its feet. This is like a mother having several babies, you know, and she's thinking about their college. You need to raise them first. You need to feed them first. You need to make sure that they are standing on their feet, getting the right proper attention. This is what businesses is. You grow the business by focusing your target audience, how you're going to market it, it's important also to understand and explain to investors something that, thank you for the question, what we call in our business model the runaway. Does anyone know what the runaway is? Okay. You need to explain to investors how many months I need to become really in a dangerous position before I spend every penny I have. Let me explain to you. You have a business that is running, but it has a burn rate on a monthly basis. Let's say you have $20,000 burn rate every month. What you have in the bank is $100,000. Okay? How many months it takes for you to become empty, to become fully burned? 5 months. 5 months. based on your monthly expenses. That means your burn rate is $20,000, which is 20% of what you have, and your runaway is only 5 months. And that's the thing you need to delegate to your investor. Runaway, explain it well, and your burn rate. And the next most important factor for your success, it's to bootstrap everything. Does anyone know what that means, bootstrapping? Show me your hand if you know what it means. Okay. Bootstrapping means you need to see what kind of elements that you need. You need to be very, I would say, truthful of what you really need. Opening up, hiring staff everywhere, left, right, and center, taking expenses offices is going to increase your burn rate. Hiring people is going to increase your burn rate. Doing expensive marketing is going to increase your burn rate. Opening up an expenses sheet is going to increase your burn rate. So what you need to do is, it's to bootstrap everything. Bootstrap means do it on the most limited resources to decrease your burn rate. And if you decrease your burn rate, you have a higher runaway. And if you have a higher runaway, you convince me to invest in your business. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Allah. So, thank you so much for the time, our panelists. We need to wrap up the panel session at this point. Can we just, one more time celebrate the panelists as they make their way back to the seats? Thank you very much. Okay, so thank you. You can keep clapping until they get seated. Thank you very much. Can we get a quick picture session with the panelists? Photographers, can you just come get a picture before they head back to their seats? Thank you very much. Very quick one. Panelists, say cheese. Say GEF. All right, someone needs to adjust their tag. Okay. Thank you very much. So very briefly, as the panelists make their way back to, thank you very much. You have to go that way. Thank you. So as they make their way back to their seats, just a couple of announcements on next steps. Next steps, the pitch is going to start immediately after this session. The business pitch will start, not in this same venue. We're going to move to another venue. But one of the things that would happen is this. First, how many of us here have taken the Nextford course? You took and you completed the Nextford course. Can I see your hands up? Okay. So for those who have taken the Nextford course, you're going to be on the priority list to pitch, because that was one of the criteria that was set. And every other person who is a startup here would pitch after those who have taken the Nextford course. So as soon as you make your way out of the hall, as soon as we're done from here, I have another very key information for you before you leave. But as soon as we're done, we're going to just move to the right, which is the Damba Hall, for the business pitch. Everyone will be attended to, and it will be done in a very, very smooth manner. Very quick. Within 1 hour, we're going to be done. So I'm just going to introduce someone who is very special. He has very special info for us. Have we heard about the deal room before? The deal room. This is where the deals happen. Yes? Who wants a deal today? We've learned that it's not by showing of hands. You must shout it. I want it. One of the things that you must show the investor is how bad you want it. Don't come, I want some money. I'm going to die if you don't give me this money. Hundreds, thousands of people are going to lose their lives if you don't give us this money. The investor must see how bad you want it. So if you could just, with a round of applause, welcome one of our board members upstage. He's going to share some information about the deal room, with us. I just want us to welcome Ambassador Afolabi Oke upstage this morning. Can we celebrate him as he joins us? Thank you so much, sir.
Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We want to thank you for being part of this amazing conference. I believe it's been very rewarding, right? Please clap for the organizers one more time. Thank you. Okay, very quickly, the whole essence of us being here is we're matching businesses with investors. And I believe each one of you, I'm sure you have a business that you're nurturing, if you're a startup or whatever that is, we want to ensure that at least we're able to help to put money behind you, right? So tomorrow is when the deal room truly starts. But we have the information of all of you. We're going to be sending you some emails to prepare yourself for tomorrow. This is separate from the pitch. The pitch that you're going to go through is to get a reward. But what we're doing is also matching businesses with investors, which is going to start tomorrow. So we're going to be sending you some information today on how to prepare for that tomorrow. Clap, clap if you want to clap. Because no matter the business you have, if you do not have money behind you, you're going to struggle. So we want to try and understand what businesses you're doing and how we can put money behind you, all right? So tomorrow it starts at 3 p.m., right? And we're going to be meeting at the room called Bogum. It's really at the reception. Just find out from the hotel reception. It's around there. That's where we'll be meeting tomorrow. So we expect to see you by 3 p.m. tomorrow. And I have with me our team member led by Sheyi. Sheyi, please come forward. Please, a round of applause. They've been working tirelessly. So please, if you have any questions, she's leading the team. We'll be right behind. Okay, if you have further questions, please do let us know. But please make it a date tomorrow. Please be there at Bogum Road by the reception, hotel reception by 3 p.m. tomorrow. Please, one more time, if you're going to be there, put your hands together. Thank you, and look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Tell your neighbor, I need the money. Thank you.
I need the money too. I need the money. Okay, so just very briefly, we know that there are some questions. How will it go? What do I need? So how many of us received an email confirming all the things you were supposed to come with today? Okay, just for those who didn't get the email, I'm just going to read it out, just very briefly. So one of the things that are required for you today, for anyone who is ready to pitch, you should have your pitch deck, right? Do you agree? Have your pitch deck. If you also want it badly, you should have your product demo or a prototype, anything that shows what your product is about. Do we agree? Okay, awesome. Another thing you could add are documents that could support whatever it is that you're doing. A business plan, a case study, anything at all that supports what you're doing. And finally, maybe something on your traction or your branding. If it's a branded product, you bring the physical products. So those are the things that you should have. If you don't have them, you can still pitch. Nothing is stopping you from pitching. But remember that the business pitch is a stage-by-stage process. A stage-by-stage process. What that means is a number of businesses are going to pitch today, and then there will be a short list of those who qualified to pitch tomorrow. So what that means is there's a short list that would happen this evening. As soon as the judges listen to your business pitch and they score you, then there will be a short list. Tomorrow, another set of people would pitch, the ones who qualify from today. And then on the third day, we'll have the 10 finalists. Who's going to be part of the 10 finalists? Yes, that's the spirit. You see, by my faith, I'm Christian. It says that you must speak it. There's power of life in the tongue. So I'm one of the finalists. You can tap your chest and say it. Yeah, you must believe in yourself. You must believe in yourself. So one of the finalists. So on that day, there will be 10 finalists, and the 10 of them will pitch to the general public. It's not going to be a small room like this. It's a big deal. There will be investors there, and they are also winning prizes as well. So the first prize, the first winner goes away with $20,000. Yeah. Amazing, right? And I'm going to take about 50% of that. Imagine, the person who showed you the road is a finder's fee, You know, just 50%. It's not too much, is it? 10? No, I don't do 10. We can negotiate later. Don't worry. When you get to the finalist finalist phase, then definitely I'll come speak to you. So the second prize winner, I think, goes away with about $10,000 or $15,000. You know, I think within that range. And then the third, you know, goes with about $5,000 to $10,000 as well. But one thing I want to advise you is, as soon as we're done here, first, entrepreneurs, they say charity begins at home. We're home now. When we get out there, let's, you know, listen to the ushers. They're going to guide us. This process is not going to take too long. Everyone is going to have their time. We have about 10 judges or 10 business experts who will review your pitch with you. You will have your time, you know, to discuss with them at full length. It's going to be like a one-on-one, one-to-one kind of session. I'm painting a picture so you can prepare. For some of the things that you heard here today, if you don't have them, try to think about a way you could cover for them. As entrepreneurs, you must be proactive. So as soon as that starts, I want to encourage you to take advantage of the other activities as well. We're not going to have any session like this for the next 2 days. So I'm using the opportunity I have right now to help you. There's going to be the deal room tomorrow. What happens in the deal room is you putting all that you've learned today into practice. You've heard, what I want is to know if you can pay me back my money. It's as simple as that. That's what the investors are looking for. Can you pay me back, and can you pay me back with interest? Simple. If you don't show that you can pay me back, if you don't show that there's going to be some interest on it, if you don't show that the business itself can change lives, the story part of it, then I'm not going to invest. You yourself, would you invest in your business without all of these things? No. The answer is no, you won't. You won't. So take advantage of all of these things that you're learning. Also, meet people. Meet people first. You can start by following me on LinkedIn. Patrick, N-W-A-F-O-R. You never can tell, you know, that 10%. I'm still looking for it. But meet people. You have people from different parts of the world here on the same ground with you. You only have 3 days. Somebody say 3 days. For me, it's a do or die matter. 3 days for my business to explode. 3 days for me to get 100 sign-ups on my CRM. 3 days for me to get 100 businesses to buy my agro products. You might not be the one winning the 20K prize, but I kid you not, you can go away with more than 20,000 here today. Do you believe? It depends on what you see. So I'll give you an example. A cake vendor, someone who sells cake, who bakes cake, might be looking for a 20K pitch. If you look at everyone here, is there anyone without a birthday? There you go. 10,000 cakes. How much is that? Times 200 cities. Do the math. A pitch or 10,000 customers. What am I saying? I'm giving you an alternative. Start thinking of options. Amen. Okay, so we're supposed to share one more very key information with you. I'm just going to ask if Faith is in the room at the moment. Okay, so I'm still going to keep you waiting. Do we have questions? This information is very important. You can't leave until you hear it. Do we still have questions from today? Anything about the business pitch? Anything about the plan for startups today? Any questions at all? Okay. Can we get someone the mic? Can we give him the mic? The man on is standing up with the orange lanyard. Yeah. With the dark shades on.
So it's not really a question because I came all the way from the Upper East just for this program, and I wanted to ask a question.
Sorry, you came all the way from where?
The Upper East, just for this program.
Can we celebrate him for that?
So I wanted to ask the investors a question, but you said there was only one.
Oh, wow.
And can you believe? I
can't believe.
I met...
Please go on.
Yeah, so I met an investor, and I spoke to the investor, and submitted all the needed the documentations and the profits, margins, and estimates and all that. And this world, as they say, ideas can be stolen. So I spoke to him and everything. You know, later on to find out that this same investor who I was looking up to, because I didn't have anything, no money, is doing the idea. It's very painful, you know. We all have ideas, and I mean, we all want funding for it. But at the same time, you know, people want to hear what you want to do, and I mean, if they have the resources, they can do it. All I needed was, in cities, I think it's 200,000 cities.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You know, so it's not that much. But the profit that the business is going to make is very huge.
Give me a percentage. So, how huge is it?
I can say, let's say for a year or let's say a month, we'll be making up to 500K dollars. No, dollars.
Dollars? Oh,
yeah.
Wow. And you need just 200,000 Ghanaian cedis.
Yeah, because, you know, starting something like this is, I mean, if you want to do it on a large scale, you have to get teams and all that. And, you know, I spoke to this person and then, I mean, that was it. So I'll use this opportunity to plead with the investors that are in this room. I would like to see them talk.
I'll call myself a jewelpreneur, an entrepreneur in the jewelry industry. My question is, with the rising pressure for everyone to be an entrepreneur, if everyone is building, who will sustain? In the sense that if everyone is building, who will work under the builder? So is it necessarily about everyone being an entrepreneur or having an entrepreneurial mindset? So I want to ask the investors, in the view of the investor, what are the qualities, if I'm working a 9 to 5, what are the qualities a 9 to 5 should have to still make the impact that an entrepreneur may be making? Because I don't think, well, that's my assumption, and I'm standing on it. I don't think everyone is meant to be an entrepreneur, because entrepreneurship, I feel like it's a calling. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So that's a very beautiful question for the investors. They're going to answer. Do you want to answer? Oh, wow. Okay. Can we celebrate Ambassador Falabi?
Thank you very much for that question. The reality is that in anywhere you find yourself, any society or any community, you must have the ability to solve problems. So once you're able to solve problems, automatically you're an entrepreneur. So you must have an analytical mind to say that in this, my community, there's a water problem, how can I solve it? There's an internet problem, how can I solve it? So it's not just labeling yourself as an entrepreneur. You must be a problem solver. And as Africans, it doesn't matter where you are, you must be solving problems, okay? The reason why we are all in this room is because we have a problem in our community to solve. And believe me, money will follow anyone that is solving problems. So come tomorrow and tell your neighbor, I need the money. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.
A round of applause. Thank you very much. So, one more question. One more question before I share my final nuggets. That man. Okay, thank you. Please share.
Hello, everyone. My name is Philip Danso Afuakwa. I work with Laxus, and we are a car detailing firm. And my question basically is in line with what my brother illustration. We went for a venture capital program. We actually won the program, and we were promised a prize. All right. So they made the first payment. Then after us, they disappeared. Okay. And 3-4 months later, the idea, because in these kind of programs, we submitted our pitch, everything, all the idea. They made the first payment to us. They disappeared. And 3-4 months' time, the idea that we had was being executed by another company, which, because we don't have the capacity to chase after them. So I'm asking that at this GAT fair, we gathered here, we are all trying to, I mean, some have started, some others are ideas that will be presenting. So what is the buy an IP or copyright, but we can afford it. So what is the guarantee that my idea that I have, because it has hurt us before, so I want to know with Godfair, or especially with the investors, maybe you can give us an advice on how perhaps we won't fall into that spectrum again.
Thank you very much. Can we celebrate him? So I also have a counter question, but I'm going to answer your question first. The first thing you must know is that the Global Entrepreneurship Festival as an organization is not one that takes on people's ideas. We're a platform that's been set to help entrepreneurs grow, and as part of the registration, there were T's and C's that were attached, and also, for every startup here, your ideas are protected under these terms. So by law, we cannot steal your idea, but I have a question for every startup founder here. What's the guarantee that your idea is the only idea in that ideas industry that exists in the world? If you can guarantee me that your idea is the only idea that exists as an idea in the ideas industry, then thank you, you're a genius. On the other hand, I just want to, this is an opportunity. Everyone kept on asking questions, but my brain was channeling to opportunities that entrepreneurs have. Who is going to help startup founders stay protected? There might be a platform, it might be an AI tool that gives me the answer to my question about the guarantee. Someone here can create that. What do you think? Someone can create it. 5 people have stood up asking, they are going to steal my idea. How will I protect myself? Who is going to help provide that solution? We're solution providers. And for anyone who is still in the ideation phase, solve the problem. I have someone that I want to introduce to you very briefly, and he runs the largest entrepreneurship coaching platform. The largest entrepreneurship coaching platform in the world. So I want to bring on stage Calvin Smith. Can we celebrate him this afternoon? Yes.
How much time do I have? 3 minutes? Oh my goodness, okay. All right, what's up, guys? So they just told me I'm going to do this like 30 seconds ago, so I will be pretty brief. So Calvin Smith, I think everyone here is startups, right? Like this is the crowd, we're all startups. So if you're an entrepreneur, raise your hand. Everybody good? Awesome, all right, love it. So I've been in your seat, right? Raised money. The largest funding round I ever led was 87 million, and now I'm more of an angel investor. So part of my business is we invest $250,000 per quarter in companies in the U.S., and now we're trying to do that in Africa. So one of the reasons we partnered with GEF and AYE is because we are part of the largest coaching operating system for entrepreneurs in the world. It's called Entrepreneur Operating System, or EOS. We've been around 30 years. So far, 280,000 companies have gone through our program and use our system every day. And as of today, we have about 15,000 companies currently going through our program. So we're proven, we know it works. There's no guesswork. Like our shit just works, right? And so due to our partnership with Francis and AYE and GEF, we're doing a bunch of free sessions while we're here. So tomorrow and Sunday at 9 a.m. and 12 p.m., we're going to be doing some free workshops, right? So if you're raising money, you're just trying to get more out of your business, come see us. We got a lot of giveaways. We're going to give away some cell phones as well. So yeah, come to one of the workshops. I hope to see you guys, and we'll learn some stuff. All right, thanks. Thanks, sir.
All right, so are we ready to pitch? I don't think you're ready. Should we go home? Maybe we should just go home. Are we ready to pitch? Okay, so first, if you took the Nextford course and you completed it, can you show your hands, please? If you did this, that means you met the 100% criteria to pitch today. No worries for others who have not completed this, you'll still pitch. But because of the criteria that was set, the Nextford participants will be given priority this afternoon, so they'll be the first on the line. So can we celebrate them as they walk towards the Damba Hall right now? You've taken the Nextford course and you've completed it. We're going to check. If you've not, there's a system to find out. And then for the rest of us who are here, we're going to pitch It's a first come, first serve basis. There's no need to rush. Everyone is going to get their time. But as soon as someone comes back here to announce, then we start to make our way to Damba Hall. Damba Hall can only seat 60 people at a time. So what that means is once it's filled up, we don't want anyone loitering on the corridor. You can come back here, take your seats, and then someone will come get you when it's time. Is that good? If you have more questions, we can sit, or ask some of our moderators here. Anyone you see putting on the volunteer tag, please approach them and ask questions as you have. Thank you very much. Can we give ourselves a round of applause today? Just celebrate yourselves. Yes. It's been an exciting day so far, and we continue the pitch right away. But what's going to happen is tomorrow, those who will be shortlisted will be communicated to this evening. You get a text and a call, and then you'll be asked to come back tomorrow to continue the pitch. If you do not qualify, take advantage of the other opportunities, the investors, the deal room, and the likes. Thank you very much, and have a blessed day ahead. So this is the end of the program. No more questions. Thank you. Can we celebrate ourselves one more time? It's good.
Thank you.